Everybody. It's such a pleasure to have you visiting with us as we spend some time this evening sharing a little bit about the Center for Research and Discovery. I'm Dr. Keri Griffin. I'm the Dean of the Research Center. I'm also a professor of public health, and I've been here at the university now this is the start of my 14th academic year. I'm really excited to be joined by several students who are really the rock stars of the Research Center. These are students who are part of the Student Advisory Board. It assists with creating all of the content and providing so much advisement for the work of the center. So we call the CRD for short, the Center for Research and Discovery, but we just call it CRD. And you can check out our website during this evening's call or after the conclusion of the call by just Googling MCPHSCRD, or we're going to pop a link in the chat to our general website. And we also have a specialized area of the website that connects students with faculty members across our campus who have so much different expertise in various research. The last time I checked, we had about 170 research interest areas that were highlighted. So we'll put both of those links in the chat and you can check them out either during today's session or after the conclusion. But I'm really happy to share that together with the support of Provost Zend and Dean Julia Anderson from the School of Arts and Sciences, we have been given the opportunity through the CRD to create so many different opportunities for our students. Our students have expressed that they wanted to develop additional research competence. And so the CRD assists students with gaining the skills. Perhaps students are interested in working with a faculty member to pursue their own research. Maybe students are thinking about pursuing research careers after they graduate. Or maybe they just really want to understand the ways that we approach collecting data in an ethical way, pursuing research in an ethical way, or how we operationalize our skills to arrive at data that are valid and reliable. We also know that evidence has shown that, especially for undergraduate students, early exposure to research results in so many different positive outcomes, whether it's increased likelihood of graduation, increased likelihood of enrolling in graduate or professional programs, or even the confidence that students have in their abilities after they graduate. One of the really great things about involving undergraduates in research is that they continue to take that confidence, we call it self-efficacy, but they take that confidence with them far beyond after they leave their academic training. So we work our very best and we work very hard to ensure that students have access and opportunity. We provide our students with research skills that will increase their confidence and their competitiveness, whether it's they're taking their next steps toward medical school, dental school, graduate school, or even thinking about a research-based career. The work of the Research Center has expanded in a variety of ways and primarily in response to student interest. We now deliver student research conferences on all three of our campuses. We also have mentored grant opportunities where students can pair up with a research mentor or a team, and they can pursue their own research. We also offer a variety of speaker series, and we have a various number of hands-on simulations that address various health topics that our students also can participate in. Most recently, we've started offering a number of skills-based trainings for students who are interested in learning how to utilize software or analyze data. But in short, I just want you to take away from this that the CRD is your hub for mentored research. Our website, as I mentioned, has over 170 different research interest areas that are represented by our faculty members. So be sure to take a look. And we're also here live, and we're going to be joined in just a second by representatives of our amazing Student Advisory Board. So if you have questions, please feel free to pop them in the chat or feel free to email us at crd@mcphs.edu. We're happy to answer whatever questions you have live here, or we'll also follow up with email if you'd prefer to send us a message. So I'm now going to introduce one of our amazing Student Advisory Board members. Gemma Kirby is our CRD lead. She's a graduate student with us, and she's been with the CRD for a long time. She is going to introduce our other students And then we're going to go through just some basic information about the Research Center that might provide you with some really great information. Again, if there's a question that you have that you're not quite sure, how to ask, or you're not quite sure what you want to know, just get close to it in the chat. Don't worry about being perfect. We are here to provide as much helpful information as we can and to let you know that we're here as a resource. So, Gemma, take it away.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining and tuning in and being interested in the Center for Research and Discovery. I am a recent graduate of the Bachelor's of Pre-Medical Health Studies from MCPHS and am now getting my master's in clinical research. I have been on the Student Advisory Board since my freshman year. So I'm going on 5 years now, I think, which is crazy. It's so much fun now. And I'm really excited that we do opportunities like this, especially for incoming students. So thank you all so much for joining. And I'm going to pass it on to the rest of my student advisory board members to just do a brief introduction of themselves, starting with Jacqueline.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jacqueline. I did my Bachelor's of Science in Pre-Medical Health Studies in 2023, and I just completed my Master's of Public Health. I have been a part of the CRD for about 4.5 years, and I'm originally from Southern California. So I'll pass it on to Karen.
Hi, my name is Karen Mentz, and I am a fifth-year PharmD student at MCPHS. I am also doing my master's in clinical research, and I've been with the CRD for a year now, and I'm excited to see all the things that I'll be doing as the years go by as well. I'm excited that you're here to learn more about what the CRD does and what we're all about.
Hi
How far
everyone. Yeah. Hi everyone. My name is Jay, and I'm the fifth year pharmacy student, and I also doing master in clinical research. I joined CRD on my second year, so it has been like 3 years. It was a lot of fun working with students from different majors, different countries, and also we did a lot of like brainstorming for the new events. So I'm really excited to work with the CRD team. And I will pass mic to Ariana.
Hi, I'm Ariana. I'm a fourth year dual degree student getting my bachelor's in chemistry and my master's in pharmaceutical chemistry. I've been with the CRD now for 1 year and I'm so excited about that. Finished accomplished 1 year. And I'm also originally from Georgia. And I'm going to pass it on to Evan.
Hi there, my name is Evan. I'm a fourth year Pharm Talks major with a minor in public health. I've been with the CRD for about a year now, and I'm originally from Boston. And I'll be passing it to Gemma to start the questions that we have prepared for you.
Alrighty, so we've got our introductions out of the way. I'm going to begin asking some of our student advisory board members various questions that we have. Our first one is, what are some skills you have learned throughout being a part of the CRD? I'm going to go ahead and ask Jay first because he's been on for quite some years. So Jay, if you could let us know some skills you've learned from being part of the CRD.
I think time management is definitely a key in working in CRD because like a lot of time you have to plan for the event and you have to know like how to work with a student from different major. Like everyone has their own schedule, so you have to figure out a time to work for everyone. And also like right before the conference, it was a very busy time of year. We're gonna do a lot of stuff for conference planning, like especially for like a brainstorming for the things and also some logistic about registrations and how we can put all the poster in the school hallway. So it's a lot of like brainstorming and a lot of like manpower too. Like you have to move the poster stand around the campus. It was a lot of fun.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Evan, do you want to piggyback on Jay a little bit and share maybe some skills you've learned?
Of course, I really agree with Jay, especially like project management skills, doing multiple tasks at once with deadlines happening at the same time, as long with team collaboration, working with people with different majors, different student advisory board members, different staffs from the school and professors. You get like that sort of experience, learning how to best manage and interact with like different groups of people, ensuring that you all have a common and shared goal to achieve.
Perfect. And then Jacqueline, if you could also just share a few of the skills you've learned throughout your time at MCP from the CRD.
Yeah, I think probably the most important one is being an effective communicator. Over the last several years, a part of the CRD, I get to interact with a very diverse group of individuals, whether it's, outside individuals, students, or faculty, and just being able to communicate and adapt to different ways of organizing or different ways of communication is something that I've been able to learn through the CRD.
I agree. I think I've definitely learned a lot of time management, organizational skills that have helped beyond even classrooms, strictly from the work with the CRD. My next question is going to be more focused on how to get into research, especially for an incoming student who may not know anything about research previously. So my question would be, what would be the first step in wanting to just reach out to a professor about joining their already existent research? So Ariana, if you can maybe shed some light into this.
Thank you. As Dr. Griffin mentioned, going to our website and finding mentors and finding the type of research that they have. Sometimes a professor will mention it during class time, but maybe that's not like the specific research they may want that may be interested to you, but maybe find like a different like topic that they're really interested in based on our website. You can delve into that, and you can also reach out to us by email or finding different SAB members and finding like their research papers and maybe researching and reading into their papers, and then you'll have more information on how to reach out and formulate that email to reach out to the professor.
Thank you. Jacqueline, do you mind also sharing some information on that as well?
Yeah, I think Ariana touched on all the best points, which is, my best advice is whether you're interested in wet lab, clinical, or public health research, is to just try to understand what the professor's researches specialties are, and then just schedule a meeting with them. Everyone is very open to taking on new mentees, and if your interests align with them, then they'll be able to kind of help you come up with a project or help bring you into their lab.
Thank you guys so much. My next question kind of piggybacks on that a little bit. Evan, I'm going to ask this one to you, but what advice would you give to an incoming student who is curious about research, has already decided what they want to focus on, has maybe already reached out to a professor, but is really worried about how to balance that with their academic studies?
Great question. Someone who has a lot of friends who are currently doing research as well. It seems really daunting and troublesome having both, academics and being in the lab research, especially dealing with the failures, mistakes that you come across and the frustration. I think personally just being strong and making sure you also reach out for help. Because we have a great support here at the school with between staff, professors are also really understanding and friends, and just honestly pushing through. And yeah, I think mostly pushing through.
Yes, I definitely agree. I would say reaching out for help and just realizing that MCP has a ton of resources that are strictly catered to helping you balance whatever it is you're going through, academics and research. So yeah, definitely utilizing that. My next questions are going to be kind of catered towards upcoming events that we have specifically this year. Some of them are events that we've had in previous years. Some of them might be a little newer. Like we have our AGAR event that happens in the spring of 26, which is super fun. You're going to be painting with bacteria on petri dishes, and it grows into these crazy art projects. I believe they're on our Instagram too, so you can always check those out. And then we also do our annual research conference where students from all majors, all degree levels come together and they present all of their research that they've been working on for the past year or more. So it's a great way to gain insight into maybe some projects you're interested in. But I would like to ask Evan and Jay, especially Jay, because Jay helps moderate some of the research conference guest speakers, just kind of what it is, what type of research is presented, what skills can participants or even audience members gain from this. So Evan, if you want to maybe go first, and then Jay can kind of follow up behind you.
Sure thing. I think the research conference is an excellent opportunity, seeing like all the different and diverse research that the student body is doing. Last year, just seeing all the amazing things from public health, advocacy, focusing on molecular biology and cancer research, and seeing all the amazing things happening. And it gives you a good idea about what current research is going on, what professors are focusing on, and what students think are the next steps, like priorities in like healthcare as they continue on with their research.
Yeah, definitely those. And also for the speaker, I think we are very excited to have like a very strong keynote speaker in the past several years. Like we have like a keynote from AI to talk about like how AI work in healthcare, and also like once guest speaker from last semester, we have someone who invited the H1AC like blood sugar testing kit. That one is super fun. And aside from that, like student can present their work, like even the project from their classroom, they can talk to their professor to extend it a little bit more to become a poster, so they can show their classmate about their project. And also, like if you do like a lab with the professor, you can post and during the conference. Also, if you want to do like a oral presentation, you can do that too. I saw a lot of students doing a cool like chemistry project, and their oral presentation is amazing. Like you got to see their cool experience, cool idea, and they got real-time feedback from faculty member in school as well.
If I could jump in, Gemma, please. This group of students is so modest. When I tell you this group of students are absolute rock stars, they are involved in the planning of the conference, the creation of our topic for that particular year, how we invite our speakers, how we create the flow of the conference. And it's students who really guide the work of the CRD. And so the students who are on this panel this evening are ones who have demonstrated so much of a leadership ability, working with their colleagues to help arrange what the conference looks like. Here in Boston this past spring, we had our largest conference to date. We had an attendance of almost 400 on a Saturday where it actually snowed in April. But these students were rock stars. They really knocked it out of the park and really delivered an amazing conference with so many of our students presented their work, had opportunities to showcase the wonderful research they were doing across a wide variety of topics. And again, it's just a recognition of the reason why the CRD is here to support our students and their research interests. So thank you so much to these students who are here. They do so much wonderful work on behalf of the CRD.
Thank you so much, Dr. Griffin. It is a lot of fun, even with all the preparations. It's totally, totally worth it. If you're curious about how the last one went, I believe there is an article written about it on our website. So you can kind of scroll through, read about what we did, who the guest speaker was, and then you can also see some of the pictures that were taken. So I highly, highly, highly recommend that you go through that and just get kind of an idea of what to look forward to next year. And hopefully instead of 400, we have 500. That would be the dream. So my last thing that I'm going to kind of touch on, and then we'll open up to some other discussions, would be our Operation Elder Connect. So Operation Elder Connect was kind of created to bridge the gap between loneliness, which is highest for like students our age, university students, and for elders. And I believe, Dr. Griffin, it got worse after COVID when everyone is locked in their house and no one's socializing. So this program was created to pretty much bring both age groups together and do activities that can cater to both, and just let us bond with people that we probably wouldn't have bonded with outside of this program. So it's been really, really great. We do it with some older adults in the greater Boston area. And we do have some Operation Elder Connect events that are planned for this upcoming year. So Jacqueline, if you could talk a little bit just more on what Operation Elder Connect is, and then Ariana, just maybe touch on some of those events that we have coming up.
Yeah, so Operation Elder Connect is a community program that is focused on enhancing digital and health literacy for older adults in Boston. And I will just talk a little bit about my experience being in Operation Elder Connect. I was very fortunate to work with Dr. Griffin this past year on it. And I would say this is probably the best experience a student can be a part of, and you can get academic credit for it if you're interested. So it really allows you to take an active leadership role in your community and also be able to interact with an age group that you probably otherwise would not have been able to. So each week we have meetings where it's a part of the program is we'll kind of have a guest speaker come in and they will provide some resources, community resources about digital and health literacy to the students as well as the older adults. And then, the rest of the time, it's just allowing the students to connect with the older adults. And it's been really amazing to just see the students build a very strong relationship with the adults throughout the semester since it lasts the entire semester. And I would say that also just the elders, my favorite part in being a part of this program is probably being able to see not just them being, digital navigators or advocates for their own health, but also seeing the amount of wealth of like knowledge and wisdom that they share with the younger generation. These are things and stories that I would never have been able to hear otherwise. And it's nice just seeing the human touch in a community come together through a program like this.
Thank you, Jacqueline.
Definitely. Yes. Ariana, if you want to just touch on some of those upcoming events that we have.
Yes. We have the elder outreach events. So sometimes we'll have students go out and see elders and teach them about stuff about that's on their phone, how to send emails. Those events are also like planned with the OEC program. And we also have a dementia sensitivity event, which brings like more awareness to dementia and how to like best like have sympathy and empathy for people who are going through dementia. And also it helps like when we're bonding with our elders, even if they may not have dementia, but just helping people who may forgot what you said earlier or just not, having sympathy and just reiterating information like that.
Definitely. Yeah. We have a bunch of events that we do continuously, and they meet once a week or once every other week, Dr. Griffin, on Fridays in the spring semester. Um,
Right. Absolutely,
once
Gemma.
or
So
every
that's
2 weeks.
Yeah, that's OEC. And then we have our hackathon that's coming up. We have our speaker series. We have the really great Caring Cardinals seminar, which allows students to experience volunteerism. For those who are interested in applying to medical school, dental school, graduate school, often there's a component that asks for you to talk about in your personal statement how you benefited or how you contributed to your community. And so being able to participate as a part of a larger group with a volunteer experience is something that the CRD offers through the Research Center. We've also got the coding series that's going to return for a second year here in the Boston campus, where we're teaching students software packages, including Excel, R, Stata, and Tableau. Gemma, you already mentioned AgriArt. We have a new series that's all about intro to research. Very often I'll meet with students and they're just so nervous about getting involved. They don't know how to start. But I just want to let you know that the students who are sitting here before you are students who just had the courage to reach out and say, I have an interest. Can you help me? You don't even have to know what topic you want to study, what faculty member you want to work with. It's all about just reaching out and saying, I would love to participate. So stay tuned to your email. We send out information via email for all of the upcoming events. And if there's something you want to get more involved in, just let us know.
Yes, definitely. Also follow our Instagram, especially regarding most of these events, and campus groups, which I'm sure you'll become way more familiar with as you get integrated into the MCPHS culture. But all of our events will be posted on there as well as the Instagram. So if you're following us on both of those platforms, you will be in the know for everything that we're going to be doing. I think that wraps up my questions that I have for our student advisory board members. So Dr. Griffin, I'm going to turn it back to you for this next part.
Yeah, thank you so much, Gemma. We are here to answer whatever questions you might have. So please don't hesitate. If you have any questions, please pop them in the chat. We are going to take a look and answer whatever. I think it's the Q&A box. So if you have any questions, put them in there. We also, I think what is so unique about the Research Center is that, especially undergraduates, they don't have this opportunity everywhere. So being able to access these resources as undergraduates immediately makes our students more competitive. It means that they have an advantage when they're applying for graduate schools, for professional schools, when they are thinking about entering research careers. We want our students to be at the forefront. So we're focusing on this preparation, we're focusing on this mentorship, we're focusing on creating infrastructure that allows our students to be immediately competitive the moment they graduate. So the students who are here have had lots of different experiences. Some of them have done their own research. Some of them are also doing work to support all of the wonderful ways that our other students are doing research. And also some of them are just active with the work of the CRD and doing all of the planning. It was really important to me to get the feedback from students, to hear what you're interested in, to hear what types of speakers you want to feature, to hear what types of activities you wanted to participate in. And so this group has provided so much wonderful feedback. In the fall every year, there's an email that goes out that asks students about participating in the student advisory board. So we conduct interviews every fall and we invite new students to replace the students who have graduated. But the really great thing is that now we also have a network of alumni who were part of the CRD. They've graduated, but they still want to stay in touch. They still want to stay connected. And so depending on where they are, they also offer additional opportunities for current students to be involved. So don't hesitate to reach out. You don't even have to know exactly what your question is. Just say something about perhaps what your interests are, and we can help guide you. So again, don't hesitate. If not right now, don't hesitate to send us an email. But we're just happy that you were able to join us this evening. So I think we can put the CRD email address in the chat. And it's crd@mcphs.edu. And you can send us an email. So take good care, everybody. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to welcoming you in the fall. Oh, here's a question. Oh, sorry. Here's a question. I was gonna end too early. So someone asks, when would you say is a good time for undergraduate students to get into research? That is a great question. Gemma?
Honestly, I would say it's whenever you feel ready. I would say maybe wait a month to kind of get acclimated to your classes and to whatever you have going on as a freshman in college, because it's always an adjustment. But if you feel like you are passionate about research and you're ready to get your hands dirty, I would say reach out and see where it goes from there. And there's some projects that you can join where you're kind of not doing too much, but then can build your way up. So I think you can kind of be flexible with what you're looking to do.
Yeah, I also just like to add on to what Gemma just said. So I feel like the earlier you start, the better for you. But like, just definitely get settled in to college and get the whole MCPHS experience. See what it's like. See what things you think you need to cut off. Things that work for you don't work for you. But the earlier the better, because I believe that the earlier you start, the more things you get to learn. So yeah.
Yeah, so they both make some really good points. And I used to teach, I haven't taught this course for a number of years, but I used to teach the ITM class. That stands for Introduction to the Major. That's a course that teaches you how to college. It gives you all the important information about how to arrange your schedule, how to look at the curriculum that you're supposed to take, the courses you have to take over the course of your training. It outlines how to even send emails to your faculty members. So in that class, I would often talk with students about the importance of making sure that you're confident with your schedule, you know who your program director is, you feel like you're comfortable navigating, okay, this is the time I've set aside for waking up. Okay, this is breakfast time. Okay, this is maybe my exercise time. Okay, I've set aside my time for my classes and my time for my studying and my exercise time and my social time with my friends and maybe calling back home to talk with my family. And once you feel like you've got that all set, you can identify times in your schedule that allow you to say, okay, I've got these 2 or 3 hours a week and I've gotten all the other important things checked off. Now I feel like I can take something else on. And so once students feel like they have a good handle on the start of the semester, then I encourage them to start reaching out. The really great thing is that we've got these fantastic series of training programs now that you don't even have to get involved necessarily in a full-on research project just yet. You can participate in some of these training programs that we have, and it will give you some of the skills that will help you as you decide to pursue research later on. So there are lots of different ways that you can pursue, lots of different time points that you can start. It's not the same answer for everyone, but again, please come visit with me. My office is in Fiddle 214. If you have any questions, I'm happy to meet with you and to share a personalized answer that works for your particular situation. That's a great question. Thank you. Are there any others? I feel like I started to close it too soon. All right. I don't think there are any others, but thank you so much for that question. It was great. And we look forward to seeing you. You're so welcome. All right. Take good care, everybody. Have a good night. We can't wait to welcome you in the fall. Bye.